Hello everyone. In this particular video, we are going to discuss question number 32 of GATE DA24 exam. Now this question is based on double-ended queue. Okay. So we already discussed what is queue data structure. Simple, we have one array, right? Like this. And queue works on first in, first out principle, right? For example, this is a rear end and this is front end. We are inserting element from the rear end, that is basically NQ, and we are removing the element from the front end, that is basically DQ. Okay, so in this way what will happen, whatever the element which enters the queue first, that will be taken out first. So this is what first in first out principle is, and simple, this is queue data structure. Okay, now we already discussed about the stack works on last in first out data structure. Okay, whatever the element enter the last in the stack, that will be taken out first. So what is double-ended queue? As name suggests, double-ended queue, right? So I have this one-dimensional array here. What this double-ended queue means? It means that I can insert the element from the both the end, from rear end also and from the front end also. And also I can remove the element from both the end, from front end also and from rear end also, right? So from both the end of this particular list, or we can say array, we can do operations. Okay, so we can do four operations here. We can insert from the front, or we can insert from the back, or we can remove from the first, or we can remove from the back. Okay, so four operations we can do, and we can restrict this particular double-ended queue according to our purpose. Okay, so we already discussed about this double-ended queue in the previous video. Now we are going to discuss this particular question number 32. Okay, now if you understand how this queue works and how this double-ended queue is, you can easily solve this question. So this question was for 2 marks, simple question. So the fundamental operations is in double-ended queue D. Okay, so what is this function? Insert first, so it will insert a new element E at the beginning of the D. Insert last will insert a new element at the end of the D. Okay, remove first will remove and return the first element of the D, and remove last will remove and return the last element of the D. So as I said, in the double-ended queue, we can add or we can remove the element from the both the side of the queue, right? So for example, let's have one empty double-ended queue here. Double-ended queue with the following operations are performed. So first one is insert first. So insert first 10 means what? We are going to insert the element 10 at the beginning of the D. At the beginning of the D means what? This one. Okay. So this is beginning, like front, and this is basically ending. Okay, so we have inserted 10 at the beginning of the D, right? That is 10. Now we are going to insert last 32. So insert last means insert a new element at the end of the D. So we are going to insert 32 at the end of the D, right? Now what is this? A, then we have this left arrow, remove first. So I already said this is a pseudocode, right? In the case of pseudocode, this particular left arrow means the value of this particular thing is stored in A. Okay, so what is the value of this function will return? For example, remove first, it will remove and return the first element of D that will be stored in this particular variable A. So simply you can assume that this particular arrow is equals to sign only. So I can write like this: A equals to remove first, then we have this function, right? So simply whenever you can see this left hand arrow, it means that the value of this particular thing is going to store in A. So simply A equals to this particular thing. Okay, now what is remove first? It is going to remove and return the first element of the D. So this is the first element of the D, right? This one. Now we are going to remove this and we are going to return this. So value of A at this particular line is basically a 10. Okay, now next line, insert last 28. So we have to insert the element 28 at the end of the list. So I'm going to insert 28 at the end. Yes. Now again I have to insert 17 at the last. So again I have to insert 17 at the last. Yes. Okay, now A equals to remove first. Now which is the first element in this particular queue? 32. So 32 is the first element because 10 we already removed, right? At this particular point, I have already removed the 10. So 34. So 32 is my first element. So I will remove this 32 and I will store it in variable A. Now the value of A becomes 32 because this is variable A, right? So we are going to update this particular value to 32. Now again A remove last. Remove last. Now we have left with 28 and 17. Out of these two particular element, which one is the last? 17 is the last. So it means the value of A is equals to 17. So after this particular execution of this pseudocode, what I got the value of A is 17. So 17 is the answer for this particular question. Simple question, nothing in it. If you understand how this queue data structure works and what is double-ended queue, then you can easily solve this type of question. Okay, and you can expect this type of question from queue, from stack, from double-ended queue. Okay, so I will add few more question on this particular topic in my test series in my course, so you can just go through that. Okay, so that's it from this particular video. I hope you understand the solution of this question number 32 and how we got the value of A as 17. Okay, thank you.